back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace, and today is Monday, December 12th. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting, because that is what I love to do all day, every day. I have all the various social medias you can follow me on. I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so please go follow me over on there if you would like. I also have show notes. Links to things that I will be talking about will be there. So if you're on my blog, everything will be down below, or if you're on YouTube, the link is down below as well. I also work at a yarn store. It is called Pearly Girls. It is in Spring, Texas. The various social media, website, location information will be in my show notes. So if you'd like to check us out either online or in person, that would be wonderful. I'm also a knitting tech editor for Knitting Patterns. And if you are interested, or if you know someone who is interested in needing a pattern to be tech edited before it goes out to testers, I would love to work with you or the person you may know. And yeah, so all that information is also on my website. It is underneath the Graceful Edits tab up at the top, and you can send me a message. We have lots to talk about. I have been to and from. We may address this lighting in a hot second because it is a little dark, but we will see. Our tree is up. We put up our outdoor lights earlier today, and yes, I have a lot of knitting. We have traveled. We are back. It's been a busy time. I have a new mug. I'm very excited. I will show it to you in a minute. But before all that, let's just end the intro and get into the podcast. If you'd like to grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, something to craft upon, an animal to snuggle, laundry to fold, maybe you are prepping holiday dishes for friends and family, maybe you are resting your feet if you have been doing that for a while, or something, or decorating, whatever it may be, and you're just taking a chill moment, which is good and important. You do all those things, none of those things, whatever brings you joy, and you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. Ooh, this is so good. So very quickly, my new mug, which ties into the story of us traveling and the tea that I'm drinking, and also the amount of knitting that I've gotten done. So it's all connected. It all comes full circle. So where do we begin? I don't know. I'm gonna sit this down because I was tipping it. If you are new, or if you are unfamiliar, I also haven't mentioned it in a while, so if you are not new and haven't been watching for a super long time, I currently live in Texas, but I was actually born in Oklahoma, and I lived there for a while until my family moved to Houston in 2006, I think, either 2005, 2006, and for my dad's work. So I grew up in Oklahoma. I still love Oklahoma. I have a lot of friends there, and a dear friend that I grew up with recently got married this past weekend, so we drove up. We had a nice little road trip, Sam and I, and my parents were going to be there as well. They flew in. It's a super small town, and it was just so much fun to be back, especially at Christmas time with all the lights and the traditions that my family had when we lived there, and getting to kind of do them again with Sam and have him experience them as well, which was just, it was very, very special. They're very super insignificant things, but it's like, this is what we did, and it was special, and it made my heart very happy. And one of those things, one of our favorite things to do when we go visit Ponca City, is to go to Brace Books. And Brace Books is like the local little bookstore. It's amazing. They sell coffee, they have gifts and little stuff like that, but a lot of books, and I remember spending so much time there, in addition to the library, which of course we went to, even though obviously we didn't get anything at the library, I apologize. I'm sorry. And so we got to hang out at Brace Books, and we were there for quite a while. With me, my mom and I were there. We walked over after breakfast because we got breakfast at Perkins. And if you've been to Ponca City, or if you're from Ponca City, because I do know some people who watch are from there, it is good. It is wonderful, especially if you haven't had Perkins breakfast in a while. So we walked over to Brace Books, and my dad and Sam went to Harbor Freight, which they now have. That's a new addition, and they did some Christmas shopping. My mom and I were doing Christmas shopping for stocking stuffers and stuff at Brace Books. And I saw this mug. And I got this mug. And it has cats on it. And it has a bunch of literary quotes from various books inside these cats. And there is an orange cat, which if you're new, I have an orange cat. He's very old, and he is, besides Sam, the love of my life. I've had him for so long, and he is amazing, and he's orange. So I saw that, it was very special. And there's actually one of my favorite quotes from Ella Montgomery, Lucy Maud Montgomery, who also ties into my knitting this week. One of my advent calendars is Anne of Green Gables themed, which is written by Lucy Maud Montgomery. And so let me read you this quote, because it is one of my favorites of hers. A warm fire, books, comfort, our cats on the rug, moonlight. Would you be any happier if you had $1 million? Just, no. All those things are just truly wonderful. And so I saw this mug, was debating between this and like a holiday mug, and I saw this and it was just amazing. And my mom very kindly got me the mug and some tea to go with it in the meantime before Christmas, and I got a bag of the loose leaf tea that they have at Brace Books, and it's like orange, cinnamon, whatever. It is amazing, and is what I am drinking now. I'm pretty sure it's a black tea. I honestly don't know, but either way, it is delicious and very festive, and makes my heart very happy that this vibe came from Brace Books. So if you are ever traveling through Oklahoma and you see signs for Ponca City and you want to take a little break from your drive, there's actually quite a lot to do touristy wise. You would be surprised. But also things like Brace Books is just super fun. No yarn stores, but that's okay. That is okay. But Brace Books is very special to me. Anyway, so that is my new mug, my tea, my past weekend, all the knitting that I'm getting ready to show you. Another thing that I will say at the top of this episode, that this will be the last episode for the year, I believe, because I need to double check, because I think, yes. So I'll be back on January 2nd. And there will not be an episode, or technically on the 4th, January 4th will be when the podcast episode comes out, and I will not be recording on the 19th or the 26th, because I will actually be with my family, my parents, in Colorado for Christmas. We're leaving the 23rd, get back on the 27th, and yeah, so we're just, the year is coming to a close. I will be in the new year starting off, or close to starting off the new year, doing a pull out of all my whips, all the things that need to be finished, deciding if things need to be frogged, what I am doing with them, what my plans are, if there's any new yarn acquisitions post-Christmas, if they will affect what I'm working on or what I currently have on my needles, things I want to cast on in the new year, my goals. or my plans, I should say. I don't know, just general good intentions that I have in regards to my crafting. So I will be doing that in the new year, so you can look forward to that. I think I did that, I honestly don't remember when I did that, if I did that this year or if I did it the year before. But either way, it will be happening in 2023, which is just right around the corner, which is crazy. So there's that. I'm in front of our tree, like I said. I've rotated. We did move this bookcase, which I actually like the position of this more, so it'll probably stay here. I'm very happy with it. And yeah, it's just things are moving forward. We finished the Christmas lights this morning, or this late afternoon, or what am I trying to say? Late morning. And it's dark and gloomy, and they're wonderful. I honestly don't know if they're on right now, but because you could potentially see them because it is so dark and gloomy, which is wonderful. Honestly, I love it. Have I started the laundry yet? No, but that's okay. Is it late in the day? Yes. Is it too late to start the laundry? I would be procrastinating to traveling, whether you are flying or driving or whatever. There's always that big mass of laundry that seems to somehow seem more than extra, more than normal. But that's okay. You know, you do what you gotta do. So, we have projects to talk about. I also forgot, I realized last time I recorded that I forgot to share with you a finished object, and by this point it's out, and I have it folded and put away. We're just having a real hard time today, aren't we? I'm sorry. I don't know what the problem is. I don't think it's the tree. The tree should be fine. That's making my face stay in focus. It's folded and put away in my sweater lineup for the cold months, but I did finish the Snowfield sweater by Coco Amour Knitwear, and it's my turtleneck one that I made. It's kind of like a taupey rosy color with a almost like a clay color, like a pinky clay color. It's not like truly rosy, I wouldn't say necessarily, but together they're beautiful and I love it. And I didn't bring it with me to Oklahoma. I did bring quite a few. I brought 3 sweaters with me and I wore them every single day. I wore one for each day, I should say, and it was wonderful. It was truly delightful because it's been hot here and it was cold and windy and it was so nice, so wonderful. But anyway, I did finish the Snowfield sweater, and I forgot to show it to you guys because I honestly need to be better about remembering what I do in between every other week. I'm not very good at that, apparently. There's just been a lot going on. But I do remember this one. I do have a finished object for this week. And you may have seen pictures of it already if you follow me on Instagram. But I did finish my Wavy Wiggles by Stephen West. I did indeed. It is done. Done, done, done. And did I leave some minis out? Yes, I did. But that's okay because they're actually going to be put into this year's Advent project, or one of them anyway. And I'm very excited about it. So that will be fun. I will show that to you in a moment. But yeah, this is the Lavender Loon Boho Chic Advent calendar from 2022. No, 2021, excuse me. And yeah, I made this delightful scarf. I did bring it with me to Oklahoma. I have none of my ends woven in, or they are woven in because I wove them in as I went. There is that. They just need to be trimmed, and then the cast on, cast off ends need to be woven in. But it's blocked. It smells Like Texas sunshine. Oh, so good. So good. But yes, so that is done. And just within the nick of time, I think I finished maybe about 5 days before. It was very close to the end of November, but that is okay. We got it done, and that's all that matters. And yeah, I did cut it short, but that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna have a, oh, I'm in the middle of a row. How unfortunate. Oh, why did I decide to do that? That was very dumb of me. So, I don't remember what this looked like last time I showed it to you all. So, I apologize if it looks the same. But I do have my Amara sweater, which is designed by Rachel Kurihara of Rachel Knits Things on Instagram. And I have finished the front, and I just started the back. So here is the front, and it is just beautiful and glorious. And here we need to hold, ooh, we've got this coming undone. Where's the other end? Okay. Whew. Wow, that was a little terrifying for a little moment. That was a scary moment. So here's the front, and you can see this has got a ton of cables. We've got baubles. You can see it a little bit better on with the dark background. It is knit out of Mace of Skeins Full House in the Hot Kiss colorway. This is currently not showing up on the camera when I am recording this on the camera, but it may show up on the computer, so I do apologize. Just imagine the hottest pink you can possibly imagine, and this is what it is. It is so bright, hot pink. My goal, potentially, is to have this done for Christmas and wear it at my parents', and I honestly don't know if I can do that, but maybe. I have been procrastinating getting started on the back because this is a big undertaking, and it's a lot of knitting, it's a lot of cables, it's thin, not lace weight, but it's like it'll puff up, and I don't know, it's definitely gonna be worth it, but it is a lot of work. The original pattern, what is this? There we go. The original pattern was written for 2 strands of like a suri or mohair, or maybe even more strands, honestly. So the fact that I'm doing it single strand, it doesn't like everything's gonna be fine. It's gonna be a perfect size, but it's not as like dense necessarily. It's a little bit more lightweight and lacy, which I really love. It's knitting up exactly how I had envisioned it to. So I'm so excited about that. And yeah, so there's the back. This is upside down. Here's the front, again upside down. And the sleeves are just plain. They are brioche, which we do have on the sides. So you can see here, just plain brioche. So in theory, the sleeves would go faster, but I honestly don't know. We will wait and see. But yeah, we leave to go see my parentals and my family on the 23rd. So, I mean, again, we just rotate through. We set a timer, we go, and then in no time we're done. The back is, I think, is longer. Technically, I have to knit a longer amount than the front, and it took me forever to get the front to that length. So I'm not excited. I'm not looking forward to it, I should say. But that's okay. You know, it'll be fine. It'll be worth it. This is what I wanted. This is what I had envisioned. It's all good. So I am complaining for no reason, honestly. So I just really need to get it done. So so I can wear it and it'll be wonderful. I have a black and white striped shirt that I think honestly would be super fun underneath it. So we have options. Next up, I'm pretty sure I've worked on it. Honestly, I could be completely wrong. I'm gonna show it to you anyway. This is my Perfectionist Trap by Casey of Casey Knits. This is, okay, I think he's a little bit quieter. I do apologize though if you can hear him in the background, but we must continue on. We will continue on. This yarn is from Apothecary, which I got from DFW. Fiberfest back in September. It is a single skein. I'm using a single skein. The pattern is technically written for probably more of the yardage of 2 skeins, but it's one of those ones that you can make it as big or as small as you like, which makes it perfect for those single skeins or when you're traveling around to have in your back pocket of just like, ooh, I know what I would like to make with that. And then you have a perfect Perfectionist Trap. It is an asymmetrical shawl with these slip stitches, garter stitch in between. It's super mindless. And yeah, so I am definitely going to, if this is definitely not getting done before Christmas, but this may be a project that I bring with me to my parents and knit on while we travel, as will also potentially be my Rain or Shine shawl by Stephen West. I don't know, I don't think I have showed this to you, but I did pull this out. I did start working on it. I did get some good progress in. This is from there. I did put it on actual bigger needles. This had been living on some smaller, shorter needles for a long time that were also wooden. They're on metal now. I'm just flying through it, and it's delightful. So this may also be a good travel project because I'm making a small version of the Rain or Shine shawl. So instead of 50 grams for each color, I only have 25 grams, I believe. That is how I have it planned out. Yes, I only have 25 grams of each color. So in theory, it will be half the size, which is fine. That is the size that I would prefer for this type of shawl. And it's simple enough and easily memorizable enough that I think I could easily bring it with me on a plane ride. Not a ton of yarn. But will I still overpack my projects to bring with me while we travel? Of course I will. On our trip to Oklahoma, I did bring my 2 Advents, my Christmas socks, and my Amara sweater. I worked on everything except for my Amara sweater because the times that I was knitting, I was in the car and driving for long periods of time. And I definitely have the tendency to get car sick and feel ill if I look at a screen too long in a car ride. And as we have seen, the cables are pretty intense on the Amara sweater, and I needed to figure out where I was and do all this stuff. So I was like, this is probably not gonna happen. This was a bad idea on my part, but that's okay. It will be fine. So I just worked on everything else, and it was great. I worked on everything, got good progress. So let me show you my Christmas socks, which are living in my Sandy by the Lakeside holiday bag that a friend gave to me and I love very dearly. So in theory, I haven't made that much progress since you last saw, but I have made some progress, so we can be proud of that, you know? I hate it when your yarn gets stuck on your progress keepers, like it gets wrapped around it and it's like no easy way to get it untangled, and you don't want to pull on it because then you'll pull some stitches. But I am doing the Candy Cane Lane socks by Paula of, ooh, had this problem last time. I did remember her name though. Her name is Paula. Autumn Poppy Designs. One of these days I will remember both of them. But her name is Paula and she is Autumn Poppy Designs. But these are little candy canes. I don't know if you can see how well you can see that. It'll probably be more visible if I have like my hand in there. Doo-doo. Ooh. Kind of. You can kind of see that they're candy canes. And there's the weed eater. We are doing all this before the rain comes. But yes, this yarn, this main color yarn was actually dyed by a friend of mine and I'm really loving working on it. I think it's super fun. And then I just used some leftover hedgehog fibers for the heel, cuff, and toes. I have divided or done the heel, turn, and all that stuff, so I'm working on the gusset shaping. This has been a little bit slower for me, honestly, only because I cannot for the life of me remember or memorize the candy cane chart, which is not any problem with the pattern. There's both written and charted instructions, which is great, but it wasn't like the Hocus Pocus cable chart thing that I was doing for my Halloween socks where I had it memorized and I could just fly, but this I don't have memorized and I really need to, but I'm very happy with how it's turning out. I think it's super fun and in theory, again, I'd like to have it done by the time we go and visit my parents or work on them while we're there or something, or get them done while I'm there. That would be nice, but we will see. We will see. But I think I'm making pretty good progress. But when we left for Oklahoma, I did not even, I think I had half the heel flap done, maybe. So I feel like I made some pretty good progress. I definitely, so I rotated through my 2 Advent progress. Now there's a dog barking. What is going on? It's just a lot of chaos going on, apparently. So when we were driving, I rotated through my 2 Advent projects and my sock, and I worked 30 minutes on each. And by the time I got through a full rotation, I kind of started working on whatever I had the most fun working on, if that makes sense. So I didn't fully continue to rotate through after I got through a full rotation of all 3 of them. It's just I worked more on what I was feeling excited about, if that makes sense. And so that worked for me. I don't know if you rotate through your projects, but here's this one, living in my Rows and Seams bag, which I love. And I got around this time last year, which is super fun. On here, actually, I have attached one of the little additional gifts from the Ash and Bumble Anne of Green Gables Advent calendar. And there are 2 little stitch markers. We have a little flower, and then we have this little disc that says Kindred Spirits, which I think is very sweet. They're very nice and very high quality, so I'm very excited to put these in something. I just attached them to this project bag because that's what this Advent calendar is in here, and I didn't want to have these lost on the inside. So I am so excited about this Anne of Green Gables thing. It is just bringing me so much joy. And I honestly am just kind of winging the striping pattern, really. I'm not, this is kind of falling apart. That's unfortunate. That's the downside of mini skeins, is that they do kind of come apart after a while if you're not careful. What am I pulling on? Oh, that's a completely different one. Oops. Well, let's wind that one back up. So this Anne of Green Gables one by Ash and Bumble did technically supposed to start on the 12th, which is today? Yes, today. But my original plan for my 24 day, I couldn't start on the 1st which I'll go into in a minute when we get to that. But so because of that, I was like, I'll just go ahead and start the 12-day one on December 1st, and I'll finish it up on the 12th. I do have one more mini skein that I haven't opened yet, but I do have all of these in here. I am very excited about them. And this is also something that I have added, the Stellaris, I don't know, whatever it is. It's sparkly and it's amazing. It's this stuff that is taking the knitting community by storm, I feel like. It got popular at Rhinebeck, or that's when after I started hearing about it. We do have it at Pearly Girls, which is very exciting. We have a couple of colors left. It's sold like crazy. So if you're interested, definitely check it out. But I'm holding this with each color, and I'm striping it, so obviously that's why I have two. I tried doing it one color with just one of these, and it was not a fun time. So it can get a little tangled, but if you are careful with it, it is fine. It is fine. But yeah, so here, let me show you. Is this the right side? Yeah, this is the right side. So this is what I have so far. I haven't really kept up with the knitting it on the day that I open it, which is fine because again, this is only 12 days. There are 12 mini skeins opposed to 24. I have the rest of the month to work on this, and I'm totally fine with it. I'm super happy with how this is turning out. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. And I have some more neutrals and then some beautifully saturated deep jewel tones coming up. And I think once I go through all of them, I may kind of like start mixing up the colors and the striping, because I think by the time I get through all the colors, it obviously won't be long enough for a scarf, which, by the way, this is the Motley Zag Advent scarf. It will be linked in the show notes, but this is what I've decided to do. I am really enjoying it. Would definitely make this pattern again. I did go up to a size 8 needle size. Halfway through this little down section down here. Can you tell? If you look closely and you know what you're looking for, you can, but honestly, I don't care. I knew as I was knitting with the 6, I was like, ooh, this is gonna be, it's amazing. I love this gauge, but also like I'm gonna use up so much yarn, and I honestly don't know if I will then have enough if I do it this way. So instead of just gradually going up to an 8 via 7, I just jumped all the way up to 8, and it was fine. And I really like it. I like it much better than I did when it was on a 6. And having the sparkle, I honestly don't know if you can see that, but it is there, and I love it. So I'm really enjoying working on this. It's very mindless at this point. It's easily memorizable. You do have stitch markers every pattern repeat, so it's easy to like keep track of, which is nice. And yeah, the pattern itself, the one that was designed, has little pom-poms on the little ends of the chevrons, and I had every intention of doing that with what yarn, I'm not sure. I may just pull from my stash of like a neutral, excuse me, or maybe like a dark green or brown or something, I think. So I'm loving this. It's super fun, very, very chill, which is what we all need, honestly, in our Advent knitting. We don't need super complicated stuff, unless that's what floats your boat, and if that is what calms you down and what you love in your Advent countdown knitting, whatever you want to call it. If that is what brings you joy, it should bring you joy and the utmost of joy while you knit it. So whatever floats your boat, honestly. So that's my first advent calendar. And then my second advent calendar, knitting wise, which actually I do have a third type of advent calendar that is sitting behind me underneath the tree, which I will briefly mention once I'm done with this. But this is Living in a Maker and Stitch bag, which did actually come in this other advent calendar. So I'm not keeping all the yarn in here because I am somewhat behind, because I did get a late start because I had an original plan, and that plan got derailed a little bit because I saw something else on Instagram and I was like, wow, say no more, that's what I'm doing. You don't need to convince me, this is what I'm gonna do. So because of that, I'm pretty behind in regards to my colors, but that's okay. I worked on this quite a lot in the car and I got a lot of progress. Obviously, it's a lot of progress to you because you've never seen it before, so it's brand new for you. What is this advent calendar? This is the Sweet Sparrow Knits calendar, advent calendar. There are 24 10 gram mini skeins, and it's kind of, I didn't bring all the rest of the yarns over here, but she does have a card that they have names, and what is also very cool about hers, and I didn't actually realize this until I got the advent calendar and opened the box and saw the list of names, was that there are 3 different bases in this advent calendar. And I'm sure she said that somewhere and I just wasn't paying attention. But she's got a tweed base, her regular base, and then her sparkle base. And so it is adding so much fun texture and just general intrigue to the sweater on top of her stunning colors. I am so excited. So if you remember last time, I said that I wanted to make a sweater with my advent calendar, with this 24-day advent calendar, which is still true. It's just a different pattern. And I was super excited about the My Favorite Adventure by Tristan of Dragon Horde Yarns, but I needed a main color, and the main color that I wanted from work, it wasn't in yet. It was coming in literally the next day, and I wasn't working until the day after, so blah blah blah, or something like that. I couldn't start on December 1st. So the day that this yarn was supposed to arrive, which actually I think I was working that day, but it was the Tuesday. It was Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that. And I saw a post on Instagram from Emma of Emma Bloom. Ooh, we will look it up. Bloom Create, excuse me. Her name is Emma. She is a knitwear designer, and just her general vibes and aesthetics are very calming and very cozy. And she posted a picture of this sweater yoke that was striped and said something about how she was taking one of her sweater patterns, the Nostalgia Tee, which is also in my husband and my queue, and she was using her advent calendar to knit this sweater. And oh, by the way, she had the Sweet Sparrow advent calendar. And I was like, whoa, wait. I see this, and I want this, and I want it now. So I'm doing this. Change of plan, don't need the main color. This is gonna be fine, it worked out perfectly because someone else ended up wanting the color that I wanted for a completely different project. So it was all fine and good. And I have started this, and Emma was very kindly writing down some of her notes of how she was knitting it up on her Ravelry page, and which was super helpful. It was also great because we happened to be knitting, the size she was making is the size that I wanted to make anyway, so it was all fine, all good. I followed some of her notes, and then I have just kind of gone on my merry way. I'm following the pattern and I'm not making things up as I go necessarily because I'm still following the pattern. It's just minus the color work aspect of it. And oh my goodness, everyone, this is gonna be the best sweater ever. I can't even. I have added some little bits and odds and ends from my stash, and like I said, from my Boho Chic advent calendar, That will be thrown in here. There's 2 of them that will be thrown in here. I haven't added them yet, but here's what I have so far. And when I say that this is again the vibe I was going for, this is exactly the vibe that I was going for, and I am over the moon with this. I can't. There's tweed, there's sparkle, there's delightful colors. I also have these various progress keepers that have come in this advent calendar with these little treats. There's a bee. I have a little bee up here. The one I opened yesterday on our drive home, there was a little honeycomb stitch marker. There's been fun tea, there's been little mints, there's been other little stitch markers. It's been so wonderful. I love this advent calendar so much. This is the color I'm actively working with. And I apologize I haven't brought the little list of names over here, but that is what's going on. Let's see, I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm working on day 8 right now. So I'm not too far behind. I have, let's see, I think I've got 2 or 3 more increase rows. It's a yoked sweater. It's like super straightforward, not hard at all. Definitely want to make one of these that actually follows the pattern with the color work chart at some point, because I really love this pattern, and I remember when it came out and it was just, it's so beautiful. I'm using my beloved Brick House needles, my little hexagon needles. It makes things so nice. I love them very dearly. I'm also using, this is just, I love doing this with my Advent projects when I have all these fun things that make the whole experience just like the utmost of everything. It's super fun, it's cozy, it's all the vibes, it's little fun gifts that people have given me and just make me happy. And so I have these progress keepers, I have my needles, I have the yarn, and then I got from a friend a set of Schitt's Creek stitch markers, and this one says love like David, which I love Schitt's Creek, which is a TV show if you're unfamiliar. It is hysterical and amazing. If you haven't seen it, I would give it a try. If it's not your pace, I would give it like a good 3 or 4 episodes worth a shot. Like, don't just watch the first one and that's your only shot. Give it some time. It gets so good. Like, it is so good. And so this pack of stitch markers is all the core, or some of the core characters, and it's love like David, hope like Johnny, or something like that, and some other things. There's Alexis, Moira, and Stevie is also included in the pack. So I am so excited about this little pack of stitch markers. It makes me so happy, and I don't have anything Schitt's Creek themed in my knitting collection, so I'm very excited. Like, so excited. I love this so much. It is just absolutely beautiful. So we've got lots of fun things going on in this Advent project, and we're just moving right along. In regards to the sleeves, I honestly don't know what I am doing with my sleeves. They will not be matching. Unless I do them in a solid color, they will not be matching. I honestly don't really know how everything's going to go down. I have visions in my mind of how it could look if I don't, like, yarn-wise, what am I going to do? Because I am currently knitting until I run out of each mini. There are some that I have leftover minis, but until I get to the body, I'm knitting until I run out, because since the rows are getting longer with the increases, I can't fully get the 8 rows that I had intended for each stripe. So, which is fine. That's totally fine. I knew that would happen. So we will see what happens when I get to the body. I honestly like the look of like mismatched stripes, so they probably all won't be 8. Some of them will be more, some of them will be less. There'll be extra ones in there. That's why I have supplemented some of my stash. And then the sleeves, depending on what I have, I may do the sleeves in a neutral solid, which I honestly think would be super fun and very cool looking. Or I may have stripes, or you know what I could also do? I could, if I didn't have enough to do a full stripe sleeve, but I did have enough to do some form of a sleeve, I could do a stripe and then a neutral and then a stripe and a neutral, and I could do that. And that would make the yardage go longer. So we have plenty of time to think about it. This is not getting done anytime soon, but I am loving working on it. It is bringing me so much joy. It was just, oh, I don't know. It's just so nice. I love it so much. There was something about like being able to drive through Oklahoma and like all these fun places and all these fun memories and these traditions, and getting to work on these 2 advent calendars was just like, this is so nice. This makes me so happy. So, and I could do that with Sam, and it was so nice. Then we saw my parents, and I saw my people I grew up with that I love so dearly. It was just so many feelings and amazingness. It was wonderful. I could ramble on. That is not what we are here to talk about, but that's okay. Now you know my feelings about that. Anyway, so my last little advent calendar that I have, we'll put this out over here. My mom very kindly gifted me and my sister, and she got one for herself, one of the holiday club boxes from Maker and Stitch, and it arrived maybe a week or half a week before we left. And so we have opened 3 of the packages together. We FaceTimed, and we have I think we've got 6 packages left. There's some small packages, there's some big packages in here. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen the picture that I posted. But this is just little fun things that they have put together in here. There was a package, there were 2 of their cloth bags, which I love, and I love that the back is see-through, so it's super easy to see what you have in there. There was some stitch markers, both big and small, and they're little hexagons, and I love that. They're gold. And then we opened some lint sticky pad things from Euclid, and they were so cool. I had never seen those before, and they're great to travel with. And I know that because I took them with me on our trip, and my dress that I wore for the wedding was kind of like this velvet and somehow got covered in cat hair. Imagine that. So it worked out very well. They work amazingly and they're great. So I'm super excited. I'm super excited to see what else is in this box of goodies. So I do think we had guesses of what things are. I'm pretty sure that this is yarn. I could be mistaken, but I bet that is yarn. I know that there's something in here smells amazing. So I'm very excited to see what all is in there. Obviously it's a little late for you to get a holiday box. I don't think they have any left. But if they do them next year, you should definitely keep your eyes peeled. Obviously I do not live locally to Maker and Stitch. They're in Edwards, Colorado. But you can get them mailed to you, so that is wonderful. And it was also cool because they had options. You could have like a Christmas one, you could have a Hanukkah one, or you could have like a just festive Christmas, or not Christmassy time, but just kind of like a winter themed. So depending on what you need or what you want or what you would prefer, you have the various different options, which I thought was super cool that they offered that. So we will actually be hopefully hanging out at Maker and Stitch while I am visiting my parents. And I am so excited. I am just over the moon. There's just so much going on right now that is bringing me so much joy, which is great because things are really busy right now and some things are a little stressful. So it's nice to have these like little joyful moments and things to look forward to that really are wonderful. So, and we're feeling super festive here. Almost all of our decorations are up. We're trying to figure out how we want to decorate our house. This is their first Christmas in the house. And it's just, it's so wonderful. We are so grateful to be here and have a new chapter of life in this house. And we're starting with our first Christmas here, and that's very exciting. But it is kind of like, I don't know where to put anything. What do I want to do here? I honestly don't know. Do we hang, we have a mantle to hang stockings from this year. That's exciting. How wonderful. Do we hang it on either side? Do we hang it in the middle? Do we hang it on one side or the other? I honestly don't know. We'll play around with it. We're an inflatable family now. We have 2 inflatables out in front. They're wonderful. We have a gingerbread man and a penguin. It's great. We love them dearly. But yes, so we are just full on in the festive mood. Christmas parties, listening to Christmas music, watching Hallmark Christmas movies, watching Netflix Christmas movies, all the normal Christmas movies. Just all the holiday vibes here. We are very excited. So, I don't know if I have anything else to share with you all other than, I don't know. I have things, lots of things that I want to knit, lots of things I need to work on. I do need to, I know we're not traveling to my parents for 2 weeks or something like that, but I need to start thinking about what I really do want to have finished for that and what, excuse me, I do really want to have to knit on that. Oh, also so I did speak too soon last time. Last time I said that I would no longer be testing for the rest of the year, and that didn't work out. That didn't happen. It was literally the next day. And a designer messaged me and she asked me to test this pattern and also tech edit the pattern, which was just really amazing and such a wonderful opportunity. And she's a good friend and I've tested for her before. I don't think this is like, I think this might be more of a secret knit, but it's a smaller item. So I was like, okay, cool. I got this. It will be fine. I got it done within a week. It was super easy peasy. So that is why I haven't shown it to you all. But that did happen, lest I forget, which I almost did, obviously. Because I meant to talk about it earlier, but that's okay. I did remember. So it is coming out closer to the end of December, I believe. So, but you will all find out. But I didn't want to say that because I was literally like, I don't think I had even edited last week or the last episode, and I had already found out that I had gotten another test knit, and I was like, well, I spoke too soon, and now I'm just kind of like rambling on about how I'm not going to test anymore, and this is just so wonderful, but I actually have one more test knit. But it was easy because it was something small, so it went quickly, and I had stash yarn, and it's amazing. So, no big deal. It's all good. All good and dandy. So, other than that, I think that's all that I have. I have just a lot of festive things that I want to do and things I want to knit and all that fun stuff, books I want to read, movies I want to watch, K-dramas I want to watch, last little bits and pieces that we want to put up around the house, kitty snuggles, most important, drinking out of my new cat mug. We are all happy here. This is all wonderful. So, with that, as we draw to a close of this year, wow, where do we begin? I don't know. We're going to keep this short because I don't want to ramble on for too long, but just thank you so much for everyone who has stuck with this podcast for another year. Whether you are a longtime viewer, whether you've been watching for a year, whether you've been watching for 6 months, 2 months, maybe this is your first episode. I love every one of you very dearly. You make recording and editing and going through this whole process very happy and exciting for me. It makes it easy to do it for you all because I know that you all love it, and I really appreciate that. It makes my job much easier to do. So I appreciate all your encouragement and your support this past year, and years previously if you're a longtime viewer. I'm so excited about the viewers that I've gotten to meet this year, whether it's been at work at Pearly Girls, whether it was at DFW, Fiberfest, whether it's been at Maker and Stitch, whether it's been various places. I do remember and I do really appreciate and love getting to meet you all. So maybe I'll get to meet you in 2023, wherever that may be. I would love that. If you see me anywhere, where, I don't know where it would be, but if you see me anywhere and you want to say hi, please feel free to say hi. But yes, I am just so thankful and grateful for you all, and your likes and your comments and your messages and just your in general happiness and positivity. It's wonderful and I really appreciate it. Be on the lookout in the coming year of the whips and FOs and things to knit and yarn acquisitions and things to frog and all that jazz. It is that really rejuvenates my creative mind, and especially in the new year, that is, I'm not super big on like doing a full overthrow necessarily, but of everything, but with the knitting, that really helps me be more creative and get more organized and feel a little bit more just kind of like, these are my plans. I love this. I'm super excited. So be on the lookout for that. That is coming in the new year. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season, whatever you may be celebrating. If you are not celebrating anything at all, that is also wonderful. I hope you have some good time with family and friends, or some good alone time, which is also important, and being able to just relax and chill. If it's cold where you are, I hope you're staying warm. It's currently not too cold, but we do have cold coming, so there's that, and we have had cold already, so I can't complain too much, but I'm looking forward to that, and snow, hopefully, up with my parents, and all the knitting that is to come. I hope you have had a wonderful week, or past couple of weeks, and you continue to have a wonderful weekend and weeks and all the various amounts of time that are coming up. What am I even saying? If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are successful. Are you gift crafting? I've procrastinated on my one gift that I need to make, and I need to start on it because it will not take long, but I have procrastinated on it, and I do need to get that started, but I need to go. The camera's almost out of battery. I rambled on for too long, but anyway, I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season, whatever you may be celebrating. And I cannot wait to show you all what I work on in the next 3 weeks. 2 weeks? 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And with that, I will see you all in 2023. That is just crazy to me. And I hope you have a safe and wonderful new year. Hope you stay healthy.